Um, 2020, still trying to recover from that year. I just remember being at the highest point in my life from January to February, and everything else just came crashing down. I'm actually on my period right now. I'm gonna try not to cry only because I have the ugliest cry ever, and I don't want you guys to see that. In the beginning of that year, I started my second semester of college, and Disney had invited my family and I to go on this wonderful trip with them for a week. Honestly, one of the best moments that has ever happened in my life. It was so magical. When we came back, that's when everything shut down and COVID happened. I was taking my second semester online. Honestly, hated it. Like, I didn't like it at all. It was a very rough time for me because my grandparents live in Honduras, but they got stuck here because of COVID and they couldn't leave. I didn't feel comfortable going out knowing that they were in the house. I didn't feel comfortable with people coming to our house because they were there. Not being able to see my friends and not having anyone to talk about how I felt put me in a state of depression. So I just felt really lonely. I was down bad. I didn't want to finish school. One of my professors just didn't care about what we were going through at the time, and she just loaded us with so much work at home. I couldn't keep up with it. And another one of my professor, he was almost 80 years old. He was 78 years old, and he didn't know how to put the work up online. I was leading that class with an F, so I had to drop it because he wasn't putting up any work. And I was just so stressed about that. A month after my trip, I actually got a dog. His name is Brooklyn. He's gonna be 2 in January. He's a miniature Australian Shepherd. He's the cutest pup ever. I've wanted a dog for as long as I can think of. You know, I always loved dogs when I was a little kid. My mom hates animals. She actually doesn't like dogs, cats, you know, any pets. She liked fishes though. We had a few fishes. As I was explaining to my mom how sad I was and, you know, how I think I'm falling into this state of depression because I don't have anything to do. I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't have anyone to even, you know, interact with. And I was telling her that I really want to get a puppy. You know, it didn't take a lot of convincing because she did understand how I was feeling and what I was going through. So she was like, okay, we get a puppy. But it's your responsibility. I found Brooklyn a week after our conversation, like online, and I got him at a boutique store in Queens. He was yay small. He was like this small. I literally scooped him up with one hand. He was the cutest thing ever. I had him for a week until he got sick with parvo disease. Whew. Yeah, so damn. I said I wasn't gonna cry. I didn't want to cry. Yeah, Brooklyn got sick with parvo disease a week after I had him. And the vet said if I would have caught it later, that there was a chance that Brooklyn would not be with me today. His nose was like turning white and he was sleeping like a lot. I know puppies sleep a lot, but the amount of hours that he was sleeping just didn't feel normal to me. So then he just started having diarrhea, and I was like, okay, mom, you know, Brooklyn is sick. There's something wrong with him. He stayed in the hospital overnight for like a weekend, and then he wasn't eating when he got back home. So I had to take him back to the hospital. He was on IV. So at the time, you know, I was messed up. Brooklyn got sick, and I was just even more messed up. But thank God he's here with us today, and he is healthy, and he is literally the best thing that has happened to me, you know, like during that time. Do I need tissues? What the fuck? After that, he started eating at home. He was playing a lot with all the toys that I bought him. Uh, he kept me busy, you know, he kept my mind off a lot of things. I had to potty train him. Oh jeez. He had to sleep with me in my room, and I had to take him out like every 2 hours to use the bathroom because he would cry in his crate. Or when I when I left him in the house alone, I would leave him in his crate and turn on my laptop so he could watch Disney movies, and all you hear is him yelling and screaming. Brooklyn, he has a lot of attachment issues. He follows us around the house everywhere. When I mean everywhere, you can't go anywhere without him being by your side. He's the best dog. He's filled with so much energy, and he's also cautious with the people that he meets. He doesn't allow everyone to pet him until he gets like a good a good sniff of you. But he's very sweet. He's good with kids, and he's amazing. A few months after that, I was okay. I was doing fine until my mom started to get stressed from working at home. Where we was living was a very stressful environment, you know, like it wasn't the best place for us, and we've been living there literally all of my mom's life and all of my life. I've been living in that same place for 18 years. I had a talk with her, and I was telling her that we should move to a better area, to a better place, and she agreed with me. We were looking at places for about a month until we found our place. We now live in New Jersey, and at the time we were moving, it was about a week or two after George Floyd was murdered, and that's when the Black Lives Matter movement happened. Protests were going on. I don't even know how to put into words like how I felt. All I can remember feeling is being numb. We moved literally that same week. All the protests were going on in Brooklyn. Sorry, I had to put myself together, y'all. But yeah, it was just a very tough time when we moved, and a lot was going on. I didn't want to post on social media because I was so stressed that my face broke out bad. I've never seen my face that bad ever. I didn't want to show my face anywhere. I didn't want to take videos. I didn't want to take any pictures. I was also stuck in these contracts with other brands that I had to post for, and I didn't want to post for them at this time, like at all. I didn't want to post anything. So when it came to making content, everything felt very forced. Right after my Disney trip, I actually got signed to an agency, and I have the best manager ever. She is literally the sweetest person. I felt like I met her at the wrong time because I was just not in a good place. I honestly thought in the middle of the year that they were gonna drop me because I was just so unmotivated to make content, and I was just so late with meeting deadlines with these brands because I just wasn't in a mood to do any of it. So after I moved to Jersey, if you guys are familiar with me, you know that I grew up in the city, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Most of my pictures that I took were in the city or in Brooklyn, most likely Soho, downtown Brooklyn, Chelsea, you know, all of Manhattan. So when I came to Jersey, I'm in a suburban area, and there's literally grass, trees, deers, raccoons, skunks. Skunks are adorable, oh my gosh. Bunny rabbits, and all sorts of disgusting bugs. When I was actually in the mood to take pictures, that's all I had. Trees, grass, deers, bunny rabbits, all sorts of disgusting bugs. It was just very new to me when it came to taking pictures, and I was just like, I'm not feeling this greenery. You know, I wasn't feeling the green setting. It just didn't go with my style slash aesthetic. But also along the line, I lost my style. I didn't have an aesthetic. I didn't have anything together. And I just missed the city, you know. I was feeling homesick. That's exactly what I was feeling. And I just didn't want to take pictures around here. I'm actually kind of thirsty right now. I'm just gonna go and get something to drink. Hold on. I apologize if the camera placement is kind of weird. This is my first time using the stand for my phone. Hi! Hey! A little bit about me and driving. I just got my license about 4 months ago. I got it back in July. So I had my permit in New York when I turned 17, and I held off driving for about 2 years or like a year and a half or so. If you live in Jersey, you know that you literally have to drive everywhere. Like, you can't even, there's sidewalks, but you don't see people walking on them. There was no way for me to get around unless I was with my mother, which was kind of annoying. She put me in this 1-2 hour class, like driver's lesson, and the instructor put me on the highway within the first 5 minutes of the class, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm a pro, I could drive, I know how to drive. Literally a year after that happened, I decided to go and take my driver's test in New York. It was going to be really complicated trying to get my permit in Jersey, then wait another 6 months to take my test, and I didn't want to go through that. So I already had my New York permit, so I took my driver's test in New York. It was obviously harder than the test in Jersey, but I pushed through. Now I am happy because I get to drive wherever I want to go. I get to drive to take pictures. I usually have my tripod in the car. If it's an outfit change, I would make sure I wear something underneath so I could just be comfortable with changing in my car. I just got my windows tinted, so it's not that dark. I still feel okay enough to park far away, change, and take my pictures. Yeah. I don't even know where my friends were during this time. Like, I knew where they were, but I didn't know where they were. They weren't there, you know. I made a lot of friends in high school, and when I mean a lot, I mean a lot. It was a whole group of us, and we just had the best time from freshman year all the way to senior year. This Starbucks line is so long, what the heck? The line for Starbucks is ridiculously long, so we're gonna be here for a while. Towards the end of senior year, there was actually a bad seed that I considered one of my closest friends, and relationship went to shit. That person ended up not being a good friend to me. This seed is still around. I decided to distance myself from the group. Even though I'm no longer cool with this person, I just expected them to like be there and probably like, I don't know, does anyone say give a holla anymore? At the same time, I always felt like I was the first one to holla, you know, like it was aggravating. It was so annoying. In any relationship, it's always tiring having to be the one to reach out all the time, you know? So as time went on, I didn't hear from anyone. Unless you're the person that reaches out to hear from that person and you only hear from that person when you reach out. To me personally, I feel like any relationship shouldn't work that way, especially if they're your friends or, you know, romantic relationship. Even my mom, like if the only time I hear from her is when I speak to her and she doesn't speak to me, you know, obviously I'll feel some type of way. It makes me feel like, girl, like, what are we doing? Over time, I just felt like I was a convenient friend. Like, I was just there as a convenience, you know? It's a whole group of them, but at the end of the day, I always felt like they always had each other, and then it was always me. Got me, you know, like I always had me. Let me order this drink because I'm thirsty. Hi, can I have a grande iced chai tea latte with oat milk, the brown sugar syrup, and the vanilla sweet cream cold foam? Don't get me wrong, they're amazing individuals, they're amazing people, they still are, but for me, when it came to my friendships, I just felt like I was watering dead plants. I do so much for people, especially when it comes to the people that I care about and that I love. I would like try to do anything for them. At the end of the day, I'm the one that got shitted on, you know? Which is kind of, you know, weird, but all right. I understand that everyone have their own thing going on, or people may be busier than others, but I'm a strong believer of if they wanted to, they would. Period. Like, that's it. If they wanted to, they would. I just feel like people make time for what they want, you know? I know I do. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this goes for anyone. That's just something I believe that is true. Thank you. So excited. Got my favorite drink in the world. I used to have this almost every single day until I was like, Ashley, enough is enough. I limited myself to have it once a week. It's something that I look forward to every week. Usually Sundays are my days, or if I miss Sunday, I usually get it anytime during the week. Oh my god. This drink is so good. I know COVID happened. Nobody was really safe with seeing one another, especially since we didn't have the vaccines out. Now I'm vaccinated, and I've been living in Jersey for about a year and 5 months. A year and 5 months? July, August. And only one friend came to see me. I joke around a lot, and I say that I live in the middle of West Bubblefuck because there's a train station right by my house that takes me literally straight into 34th Street. And it's only about like a 40-minute train ride. Like, it depends on what train you take. So some takes like 45 minutes, some trains take 50 minutes, some trains take an hour. I'm not far from anything, really. I'm actually close to everything. When I say I'm in the middle of nowhere, I just say that because I'm just surrounded by trees. That's it. It's super easy to get to where I live. I definitely spend longer times on New York City Transit than I do on New Jersey Transit. So I really can't complain about the ride. You know, growing up in the city, taking the trains everywhere, it's the easiest train ride that I've ever taken. When I think about all these things, it's like, you knew I moved. You have my phone number. I haven't changed my number since the first grade. Like, literally, I had the same number since I was 6 years old. If anyone, like, complains about getting in contact with me, it's not that hard. Especially if I know you and you have my number. Come on. This move was, like, the biggest change that has ever happened in my life. Because where I came from and where I live now was just, like, a culture shift. No one checked up on me. They were like, oh, you moved to Jersey, you know. Yay! I expected them to reach out. I'm not gonna say they didn't want to hang out, but they only wanted to hang out during social gatherings. And like I said, that seed that I'm not cool with is still around, and I wouldn't want to see any of my friends at social gatherings where I'm not going to feel comfortable, you know? Like, I'm more of a one-on-one person. Like, if you want to spend time with me, or if I want to spend time with you, I would let you know, I would tell you, and I would make time to do that. So something that I learned from all of this is that you can't expect people to treat you the way you would treat them. Like, all those expectations have to go out the window. Then again, that's my fault for having these high expectations and they weren't meeting them. I also have this bad habit of ghosting people, but then again, no one ever checks up on me. I can happily say that I am watering live plants now. I met up with 2 of my closest friends in the city a few times, and we did that because we wanted to. About 2 months ago, I did my first road trip, my first 4-hour road trip to Washington, D.C. to meet a friend that I've known online for 3 years. And I did that road trip because I wanted to. Another close friend of mine that came all the way from the Bronx to see me in Jersey a few months ago, she did that because she wanted to. We all did these things because we wanted to. It's a prime example of when I said if they wanted to, they would. Just to save time and energy, I just don't want to check up on people that doesn't check up on me. If that makes sense. Every time I explain something to my therapist, I always say, if that makes sense. But, yeah. I'm gonna start to drive home now. My disappearance from social media. I technically didn't disappear, but I just wasn't active. I remember not being active for like 7 months, and 7 months is a long time. So, I spoke about my acne, and I spoke about not knowing where to take pictures. My eating habits were horrible when I moved. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. Really, when I moved, all I had was Uber Eats and DoorDash, and I'm near a lot of fast food restaurants. Child, I was ordering Wendy's almost 3 times a week. I had that same 10-piece chicken nuggets with a large french fries, large fruit punch, and I was eating that almost, almost every day. From Popeyes, I love their chicken, their biscuits. Ugh. I was eating a whole bunch of junk food. I didn't like my body. I did not like my body at all. I don't know what was going on. Just everything wrong. I started going to the gym, but it wasn't consistently. I would just like walk the treadmill here and there, or I would see machines and I'd be like, ooh, fun, and I would try it out. But I still didn't have that confidence to even look at myself in the mirror and go like, hey, sexy. I was like, ooh. Self-love really is the best love, and I'm starting to learn that now. I was just like, what is happening to me? Like I was literally at the lowest point of my life. I was like, who is this? She needs to go. And what now? Literally after my 19th birthday, I started going to the gym at least once a week. My mom and I booked the trip to Mexico for New Year's. That was our first time leaving the country since COVID happened, and we took a risk and enjoyed our New Year's. During this vacation, I actually started speaking to the love of my life. I'm so corny. If you guys didn't know, I do have a boyfriend now. I'm in my first relationship ever. He is my person. Like, he's also like a Brooklyn moment for me. He's one of the best things that has ever happened to me. We started talking New Year's Eve, the day before New Year's Eve. He came to see me for the first time a few days after I came back from Mexico. He asked me out end of January, and we've been going strong since. So now I actually have to walk my dog because he did finish his breakfast. So we're gonna take a short break from this. I apologize if I'm a little bit all over the place. This is my first time doing a video like this. I believe I was talking about my boyfriend. Yeah, my boyfriend has helped me in ways where I wouldn't even know how to help myself. He's my strongest support system. He inspires me to do a lot. He just started helping me with my fitness journey. He's on his way to become a certified trainer so he can help other people as well. He's very nice, he's very sweet, he's really funny. I could sit and talk about him all day, but I'm not gonna do that to you guys. I'll probably ask him if he wants to make an appearance on my channel sometime. Now to talk about my YouTube channel. I started going to therapy about 2 months ago. This is something that I wanted to do since high school, but I just never had that push to go. With everything that has happened with me from my childhood to this past year and a half, I felt like it was a time to heal. I wanted to start putting myself first, and taking care of my mental state is a part of that whole healing process. As important people started to leave in my life, my anxiety got worse. I have this huge problem with being alone. I'm not okay when I'm alone. It's also really hard for me to communicate the way I feel with other people, so I would usually keep everything to myself, which it's not good. As I got worse, I would just think so lowly of myself, like no one would want to be around me, or I'm not good enough for other people. Like, I would always question myself and ask myself, like, why is everything happening the way that it's happening? So my therapist and I have been discussing different coping methods that I could use to express my feelings and to go over them and figure out why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. She gave me this idea of recording myself and playing it back so I could listen and go from there. But I also thought about YouTube. I'm thinking of keeping my channel as like my own personal diary to the public. I just feel like it would be a beautiful thing to watch back at my videos to see where I was and um, how I'm transforming into the person that I want to be or the person that I'm becoming. And I'm not really interested in doing any collabs with anyone. I just want this to be a me kind of thing, just in case there are other people like me going through what I'm going through. I just want this to be a safe space where I can just be me, you know? I started YouTube back in like 2015. I would make like 4 videos, disappear, come back the following year, make like 5 videos, disappear. Like I was over the whole intros with the hey guys, it's Ashley Massey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, you know, like it was so forced. I just felt like that wasn't me. I was just putting on a face to show the world someone who I'm not, if that makes sense. I love filming videos. I love taking pictures. I love editing. Editing is really my favorite part of the whole process. I don't want to be too hard on myself with my channel, and I think that's where I went wrong the past almost 6 years. I'm excited to start this journey of kind of finding myself. Ideally, I would like to have a video posted once a week. As my YouTube channel will be my diary, you guys will get the glammed up version of me on Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Oh my god, I forgot one more thing. I had gotten braces this year. So last year I went to the dentist. Over time I realized that my top row was spreading out from each other, and I told my dentist that they were running away from each other. I was like, I need braces. I don't like the way this look. Why is this happening? And he was saying probably with my tongue I push my teeth out at night. I don't know what. Something crazy. I got Invisalign back in February. I wore them for 8 months until September. Now I smile like all the time. I used to smile before then, but during 2020 I didn't even want to smile like at all. I'm gonna go now. I'll make sure to talk to you soon. Please take care of yourselves. Don't be afraid to put yourself first, and also be kind to others because you never know what they're going through. Bye.